All right, guys, so I'm very, very excited to let you guys know that starting August 1st, just a few days ago, we are now offering sample data from over 100 US TV channels. If you've been following my app for a little while, you know we started off with just 10 that we were monitoring, scaled it up to 20, basically doubled it the next month. And now we've been able to basically get access to over 100 channels worth of data, worth of placements. I want to be clear, we are not getting every single track that gets placed across all 100 channels. That unfortunately would be impossibly expensive to be able to get at this point in the trajectory of this app. But obviously, what we would like to do every single month is just continuously add more and more and more data as we can basically afford it and as we can sort of realistically bring it into the app. So now what you're going to get access to essentially a much broader, wider sampling of, again, over 100 channels, so that you now have a much broader overview as to what's getting placed on TV, and more importantly, where you and your music fit into the mix of all of this, okay? So these are the channels. Some of them, we actually even have more that are on the app as of now. So if you have not joined us, you can definitely click on the link below, learn more about SyncMatch. Certainly sign up if you'd like to, and it's a cancel anytime service, 30-day money-back guarantee. You have literally nothing to lose and a whole bunch of data and insights to gain if you want to join us, okay? But we have some other features that I think are really, really interesting and going to be very, very valuable for those of you that really want to get some unique, one-of-a-kind, never been offered before type of insights into our marketplace, okay? So on the SyncMatch app, you'll see now that when you log in, you're going to see that this is the data that's been updated for July, the last previous completed month. That's how this works. Every single month, we update the sort of data set from what we've detected. And now, not just the 20 channels, you're going to have access to basically over 100 channels that there's going to be some data for. For those of you that were on the app, you might have noticed that this number has jumped up considerably. The first month we offered this app, I think we were at about 5,000 total placements detected. Then we've scaled up to around 10, 13,000, somewhere around there. As of August 1st, you're now getting access to over 53,000 track placements, okay? So we have definitely quadrupled, basically, the amount of data and the amount of placement detections that we've previously had on the month. So you're getting a lot more, as I said, visibility into this industry as to what's actually getting placed the most. Let me walk you through just one of the new metrics that we've added onto the trends and tracks section here. So you not only know, as we have done before, which tracks got placed the most. You'll always get access to those. You can kind of listen to them, get a little bit more insight as to what was happening with the sort of winners of our industry for the last completed month. But here's a new section that we just added, okay? So this is going to be the top 20 tracks that have the most number of shows that they were placed in. Okay, so this has not been offered before. This is a new metric. This is a new graph chart that we're basically offering here. So these are not going to just show you sort of a static number of like, well, this track got placed, like the first one, 3,000, 2,000 times. This one's actually going to show you which tracks got placed on the highest number of different TV shows, and you can see how many different channels each one of these tracks got placed in. The reason why this is kind of a very valuable chart and basically some tracks for you to potentially listen to, check out the Spotify links, maybe listen to the snippet of this track as it was placed on air, is you'd want to basically make sure you're creating music that is going to be broadly used, right? Not just for one particular type of show or one type of content, but maybe you're interested in making some music that can be placed across a variety of different channels and TV shows. So if you click on any one of these, now what you're going to see, you'll get the usual metadata that we had for you guys before, how fast it is, the key, all that good stuff, which is helpful. But now you're also going to see how many channels, of course, and you can see all the channels that we detected a placement for this one track. Okay, one track in 1 month getting placements on 59 different channels on 724 different shows. This is definitely a song you want to listen to if you produce in this style. I don't remember with this one. This is a blues rock track, okay? If you are interested in blues rock, any of the combinations of all those things, this is definitely going to be an app you want to use. This is definitely going to be music you want to listen to, and you're going to want to study the tracks that are getting placed on 724 different TV shows, okay? So that's what's really valuable now about scaling up the data that we have access to, is you're going to learn not only which tracks got placed the most, of course you'll also know which ones had the longest placements. If you'd like to know, length does count for sometimes our royalties being a lot higher. that can also be useful for you as well. But also just knowing which tracks have the most broad market demand and what styles of music have the most broad market demand. You can see all of that right here on the app starting now, starting today. So that's really, really valuable. We've also improved the tag match feature, which basically allows you guys to upload a track and get yourself matched with the right production music libraries that are the best fit for you. Up until now, what we were doing was basically purely creating a recommendation system, mostly on the number of tracks that a particular library got placed in your particular genre. So if you upload, let's say, a blues rock track, we would find which library in the previous month supplied and got the most blues rock track placements. That would be your top match, and then we would kind of scale it down. One issue we've been running into, though, is that oftentimes, as you'll find when you check out the libraries tab, you can find out all the different libraries that we have access to here and what we've been detecting their placements, is some of the usual suspects continue to show up, some of the larger companies, because there are, some companies that basically do tend to get more placements than others. And what was happening for some of you is that you were constantly seeing the same kinds of libraries that were in there, like the APMs, the Extreme Music, BMG, et cetera, right? Not that you can't submit to those companies and get accepted. We had one of our early Sync Match members submit to Extreme Music, get accepted, and is now on the roster, so it definitely can happen. But what we did is we just slightly tweaked the recommendation algorithm to not so heavily favor some of those bigger players, but really more keep it a little bit more evenly weighted for some of these smaller publishers as well. Because smaller in terms of they're not, the top 6, top 10 out there, doesn't mean that you can't create sizable, great placements with them. In fact, a lot of my career was built on working with the indies, the smaller players that are much more approachable, much easier, essentially, I think much more easier to get accepted by and to create those direct personal relationships. Again, it's not impossible to work with the bigger ones, and we haven't excluded the bigger ones from your matches. So your matches can still include some of those bigger players. But we've tried to basically open up the doors a little bit more for all of the amazing high quality libraries that we have on our app, so that you basically get access to a variety of different types of companies, not just always going to the top rated or the top, not top rated, but the ones that have the highest number of placements, if that makes sense. So, and we're still working behind the scenes right now on even more features and giving more insights to all of you guys that are a part of our Sync Match community. We appreciate your feedback, of course. If you have suggestions, now that we have a lot more data on the platform, we have a lot more insights and interesting things that we can show you guys as a result of now monitoring over 100 channels in the US, please reach out. Leave a comment below if you'd like to. You can email me, jesse@syncmymusic.com. Of course, if you'd like to join us, you can leave us feedback after joining, and that would be really helpful as well. And a little bit of a preview of what we're working on for this month to release in September is I am trying to, I can't give you confirmation, but I'm definitely working on pushing us even now into international marketplaces, international TV channels, okay? Can't give you a promise on that, can't give you a definite anything on that, but if you've been following me for the last 3-4 months as we've been early, launching this app, every single month I've been consistently adding new sources of data. This is definitely by far the largest addition of new data that we've actually had on the platform. So there's never been a better time to join than right now. I highly encourage you guys to click on the link again or in the top pinned comment. You can learn more about what's included with this. And of course, I think one of the game-changing features, I think if not the game-changing feature for a lot of you guys, is being able to upload an MP3 track that you've created and within 5 minutes finding out where you and your music best fit within all of this. For some of you, you're going to get confirmation that you're going in a great direction. You're going to see a lot of different tracks that are similar to yours that are getting placed in a variety of places and shows and channels. And that'll give you the confidence that you're doing what you should be doing to be competitive in this industry. For some of you, maybe you'll upload music and find you don't have a lot of matches, or maybe the music that is in your closest genre doesn't really sound like what you're doing. And again, I encourage you guys to take that as an invitation, not as a point of rejection or a failure or you're doing everything wrong, but course correcting, basically an invitation to give you a direct path to what could actually get you more placements. And listening to the music here through the Spotify links that we provide, or even just listening to these snippets that you can listen to how the track was used on a TV show. This is all sitting here literally waiting for you in ways that none of us have ever had any of this data ever before in our lives and in our careers for sure. So it's here for the taking, and the data set gets richer and richer and bigger, and we're going to continue that on moving into September and beyond. So I'll definitely have more updates for you guys as I have them. And for now, I wish you guys all the best. Have fun, upload some tracks, and I can't wait to hear about many more, hopefully, success stories for those of you that are using the Sync Match app.